and welcome to this video brought to you by That Maths channel. This is one video in a series of 5 looking at questions and topics that you are very likely to be asked in the new Maths GCSE. This is a collection of questions that you will probably be asked in your exams. The word to emphasize here is probably. As of course, there is no way to completely predict what the examiner will do, but what we can do is we can look back through each series of the new 9-to-1 Maths GCSE exam papers, including the specimen papers, and we can find those topics that are repeatedly included. On top of this, you can find a pattern of very similar questions which are repeated in nearly every series of exams. Here are some of those questions. A topic that you will definitely be assessed on is factorizing quadratics. During your maths exam, you're going to be asked to manipulate a lot of algebra, but in particular, you're going to be asked to factorize quadratic expressions. This question in particular is worth 2 marks. Could you pause the video and have a go at this question? Okay, welcome back. I'll just show you my solution. This is what my answer looks like. So we're given the original quadratic expression. Because I'm asked to factorize, I know that means I need to place it into brackets. I know I'm dealing with an x and an x in each bracket because there's an x squared term after the expansion of these brackets. But then I need to work out what 2 numbers would go into each bracket. So I look at this value here, negative 36, and in my head or on paper I think of all the factors of negative 36. So I've listed the factors of negative 36 here, then I've selected the factors which when we add them together would add up to the coefficient of x, which is negative 5 in this question. So 4 and minus 9 multiply to give me negative 36, but they also add to give me negative 5, and that is why I've included them in my brackets. Very well done if you would have achieved 2 marks on this question. Another topic that seems to be assessed every single series of exams is repeated percentage change, often in the form of a compound interest question or often including this mathematical keyword depreciates, meaning that the value decreases. Could you have a go at this repeated percentage change question? Could you pause the video now, please? Okay, so this question was allocated 3 marks. Let's have a look at the important bits of information. I already mentioned the word depreciates. So we know that the price of the yacht, the value of the yacht, is decreasing each year. It's decreasing by 18% each year, and we want to know the value of the yacht at the end of 3 years. So there's my important bits of information. We're also asked to round to the nearest euro. That'll be important for finishing off our calculation. This is what my working out looks like. So first of all, I've thought about converting an 18% decrease into a decimal multiplier. 100 take away 18 divided by 100 leaves me with 0.82. 0.82 reflects an 18% decrease in value. 100% take away 18%, so I'm dealing with 0.82. And then I use the calculation, which can be used for repeated percentage change and compound interest. My original amount, which is 150,000 euros, multiplied by my decimal multiplier, 0.82, to the power of how many times it is repeated. And in this question, it's 3 years, so it's repeated 3 times. This gets plugged into my calculator and it gives me a value of 82,705.2. But the question does ask me to round my answer or give my answer to the nearest euro. So this would be my nearest euro, and the 2 is telling me not to round up. So 82,705 euros would be the price of the yacht, the value of the yacht after 3 years. Very well done if you could remember the way of presenting a repeated percentage change question and you were able to pick up all 3 marks. Another topic that is favoured by the examiners in the new 9-to-1 Maths GCSE is rearranging formula. The complexity of the rearrangement seems to change from each series, from each year, but you will pretty sure that you will be asked a question about rearranging formula. So could you please, for 4 marks, make X the subject of this formula? Could you pause the video and have a go at this question now? Okay, welcome back. Let's have a look at my written solution. So my solution looks like this. What we're trying to do is we're trying to rearrange this formula, manipulate this algebra, so we're left with x equals. Because we already have 2 x's in the question, that's suggesting to me that I'm going to need to factorize at some point during my working out. So the first thing I do is I square both sides. So that removes the square root sign and that makes this y squared. Then I take x plus 1 and multiply it on this side. So I've multiplied both sides by x plus 1. That leaves me with this. Then I'm going to expand that bracket. Y squared x plus y squared equals 3x minus 2. So now from here, I want to get all the x's on the same side. So I'm going to take that and put it on this side. So that's the same as subtracting this from both sides. And I'm also going to add 2 to both sides, which ensures that this minus 2 ends up over here as a positive. Now that I have all the x's on the same side, now I can factorize. So I can remove x as a factor, and that will leave me with 3 minus y squared inside my bracket. Then I can take my bracket and move it to the other side because I've divided both sides by 3 minus y squared. Now I've got the x by itself. Now my formula says x equals. I've wrote it the other way here just so it looks a bit more formal, and this is my final answer. One thing to notice about rearranging formula questions is there is often more than one correct solution. So for example, this is another correct solution which would be acceptable. But following my steps and my working out, this is the solution that you should obtain. Very well done if you were able to achieve all 4 marks on that difficult rearranging formula question. Thank you for watching, and remember, practicing past paper questions is easily the best way to be successful in GCSE Maths.